I was at the U.S. Open. The first time I was at the U.S. Open in, I think, nearly a decade. I moved to London in 2003 and just never got a chance to get back during the Open. So I was incredibly happy to be an American at the U.S. Open again. But being an honorary Brit, it was a great night. It was a great week, and our man Murray came through, and it was brilliant to be there.
And you were there watching him win his first Grand Slam title at the U.S. Open. What was that experience like?
It was fantastic. I mean, nothing against Djokovic. He's extraordinary, and I on any other night would have been supporting him. But it felt so much like it was Murray's time. He worked so hard. All of us over the last, all the years that I've been in London, living here and watching him develop and grow and get better and better and better. It was just one of those moments where we thought, yeah, this is meant to be.
Anything in particular that you identify with as an actor in an individual sport like this?
I think there is. I think there are analogies to it. I think I've often said that I think the mere act of being watched, which is true in both professions, changes the game. And it changes, when we're rehearsing in a rehearsal room, it's very different when you then get out on that stage and you're now performing it in front of an audience. And I think that, I've often said to use that analogy a little bit further, to say to, friends, if you go out, with just you and a buddy and you're going to play tennis, that's one kind of game. But if 15 of your friends come and they're drinking and they're watching, that's a different kind of game. And I think that there is something about that performance nature and that adrenaline that gets going, when you are in front of people. And I can't imagine what it's like to be out, on a court in front of that many people.
How's your game?
My game's all right. I play a lot.
Flaws,
a lot of flaws. I'm working on them. I love the game. I love the. There's a kind of majesty to it. There's a kind of an extraordinary skill, because it's also it's not just a physical game. It's a mental game. And I love playing it, and if I can't be playing that, then I'm playing ping pong. Or as our mayor here would say, whiff-whack.
Your impressions here of this whole event, the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals, we're so proud of it here at the O2 Arena.
First of all, they put on a great show. They obviously treat all the guests who come up here to the Barclays Suite incredibly well. But Barclays has a history of being incredibly generous and recognizing what's important in our society, both in terms of sports and the arts as well. They've done an incredible amount here in London. Goodness knows through, we get on our bikes, our Barclays bikes, although we do like to call them Boris bikes. I know Barclays doesn't like that. But so I think that it's incredibly important that corporations, that banks, that these institutions recognize how important these events are for people. And if you look at this house tonight, it's completely packed.
It's a tremendous representation of our sport.
Yeah.
Usual Suspects, American Beauty. They are cult classics, not just around the world, but also in the locker room with the tennis players. Does that give you a little extra sense of pride that the players that you love watching love your skill and talent so much?
Well, when I met Andy Murray for the first time at the U.S. Open, he mentioned that Suspects is one of his favorite films, and that's the I'm so lucky to be able to do what I do, and the fact that some things I've done have stood the test of time and people still like them means a lot to me.
Kaiser Soze surely withstands the test of time. Kevin, thank you so much, and it's so great to hear that you care about our sport. Thanks for supporting the event.
Thanks, man. All right, see you later.